Hi,
Hello.
how are you?
Sarah, can you hear me?
I can. It's a bad connection, but I can sort of hear you, yes.
Yeah. Okay. I think we've got a bit of a delay.
Oh no.
No, we have a delay in the voice. No.
Yes, I think we do.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. The weather's pretty bad here right now,
Oh wow.
and when this happens, the internet doesn't work so well.
Oh
So
no.
anyway, we can try and go ahead, and if necessary, we'll just do it later. I don't know.
Okay, perfect.
Is that okay for you?
Yeah, of course it is. Yeah.
All right.
Okay, so my first
So
question,
what's the story?
I'm
David didn't really tell me much about it at all.
no, it's a project for our English class. I'm a freshman at the university here, and David is my teacher. And I'm doing a
Uh,
project on slum
yeah,
tourism with a focus on favelas, um, which David was very excited about. um, so, my first question is why do you think that tourists visit favelas? Like, what about them attracts tourism?
yeah. I can only speak specifically for Rio here, for these more famous favelas in touristic Rio in 2011, and to the favela in 2013. So at that time, there was a massive expectation in Rio, particularly in Rio, but all over Brazil, with the World Cup coming in 14,
Mm-hmm.
and then the big and lots of people starting to come visit much more. Infrastructure improved quite a lot in that meantime, in spite of all the robbery and all that, and all the delays and stuff. But uh, yeah, so the favelas became, for those people in the years building up to the Olympics, there was this gentrification process everybody was talking about, with a lot of people from Europe, like myself, and from the US, and other parts, I guess, coming and setting up businesses in favelas, which were cheap and with amazing views, and because foreign people didn't have the prejudice against going up to the favelas, and once they were pacified, which was roughly I was talking about 2009, 2010, the first 18 favelas were pacified. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so they started to have to do a lot of hosteling and opening bars and all kinds of businesses in places like Vidigal, etc. And it became trendy for all the foreigners who were visiting the town a lot. And then during the World Cup, it was like just confirmation of how amazing they are, and
Yeah.
how they can be lived by foreign people peacefully, and it's cool vibes, sort of, always with a sort of edgy feel, but
Yeah.
that's what a lot of young people are looking for.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, so the process, I guess, was pretty quick, and it definitely had a lot to do with these mega events.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Awesome.
Yeah.
I didn't think about like the World Cup and all of that. I was just thinking it was cool and trendy, but that makes a lot of sense. Um,
Yeah, I got, like, for example, I got a lot of foreign exchange students who chose Rio because of that,
Yeah.
the years previously.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Um, so my next question is: you hear a lot of stereotypes about favelas and slums in Brazil, including that they are like war zones. So I wanted to ask, is living in a favela actually dangerous, and how common is violence, if so?
Yeah, well, that's really the this favela where I have my little hostel is the smallest of all these favelas in Zona Sul, and it really is a privileged location, sort of a dead end, and
Mm-hmm.
surrounded by a environmentally protected area, etc. So it's, because it's just like 1,500 people strong or
Yeah.
so. Everybody knows each other, and there are no cars here, so that there's nobody really passing through it. So it's extremely safe. You see,
Yeah.
for me, it's like I've never had any problems with my guests, and just generally in favelas there is this code of conduct that in these favelas I'm talking about, where people don't take from their own. So basically, they don't. If you even in the when traffic ruled, still rules, and where it rules, they set that standard within the communities. You see, we don't steal from each other,
Mm-hmm.
so that's not accepted. You see,
Yeah.
so it's not really violent at all. I mean, so there's violent arguing, and people shout a lot and drink a lot and do
Yeah.
But like towards foreigners, it's like they are sort of sacred. They're tolerated, and in these places, people are very used to that, and they just, of course, they try to make money off them, and but they have a sort of a long term perspective of that. If we treat them well, they'll treat us well, kind of thing.
Definitely. Yeah. All right. Awesome.
But again, this my favela is not representative of real favelas in that sense. Yeah? It's with these 18 I told you about are the privileged ones, the closer to the famous beaches, etc., to the rich areas. But there are 280 favelas in Rio, and vast majority of it is foreign people can't go there by themselves and think they're gonna be just fine.
Yeah.
You see what I mean?
Yeah. So there's like certain favelas, like yours, for example, and the 18 others that are sort of designated places where tourists can go because they're more safe and it's more about tourism. But the actual favelas, like you as a foreigner, you shouldn't go to because it's dangerous.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. In the north area, in all the poor areas, from where the security is. Um, yeah. Unfortunately, there's been lots of examples of you know incidents
Definitely. Yeah.
with yeah. Even like during the Olympics, even some army guys, because there's lots of army people here for the Olympics, and these 2 or 3 soldiers in a car took a wrong turn somewhere and got shot. The military people.
Yeah. All right, so my next question, I guess, is a little pointless then, because you just answered it. It was, how often do police visit your neighborhood? But I guess never then. um,
Well, no, it's not like that. Here, the pacified ones, you see, the pacified ones, the total is around 50 now, 48 or something. But some of them, the bigger ones, they didn't even manage to actually, get control of the territory completely, get rid of the armed gangs. They're still around, and there's presumably they'll be gaining strength within the next few months.
mm-hmm.
But uh, well, I got lost here a little bit. What was your question?
It was, how often do
The
police
police.
visit?
Yeah, they're still around. They're still around, but in each of these favelas there is a specific commander of the police. And so the pacified ones, the 51, or definitely those 18, they have consolidated these pacification police units, but they coexist still with traffic. Yeah?
Yeah.
So there's the occasional shot exchange, and there's a lot of politics because if you're a smart, have you seen these movies? Have you seen Tropa de Elite?
No.
What's the name in English? Well,
Oh no, it froze.
there's a movie with this Wagner Moura guy. It shows you what I'm talking about. Well, anyway, the chief of police in each of these places needs to negotiate with traffic. You see,
Okay.
so this, and it's not all black and white. You know, it's in the past and still in the present. Many times the problem is the police forces themselves get corrupted and are playing double roles. Yeah. So they used to be, you know, traditionally people here in favelas they hate the police. You know,
Mm-hmm.
the children sing against the police. 3-year-olds, you know, that's the culture because police were the bad guys with guns. Yeah.
Yeah.
And nowadays it's gotten better, but that's still a reality in some cases. Police are extremely corruptible also because they are badly paid and they go through a lot of risks. There's this gangster culture,
Yeah.
but yeah, I'll try to. That movie is called in English. You definitely should watch that to better understand anything from Rio favelas. Just a second. Elite Squad.
Elite Squad.
You can have it, yeah, dubbed also in English if you prefer. There's lots of them, but that one is a good one. There's also 1 and 2 of those. It's 2 chapters.
Okay,
Probably
cool.
1 and 2.
Thank you for that. So my next question.
What else? I'm
is,
sorry, I can't like show you. Have you seen the page of pictures or something?
Yes, I have actually.
Did I give you the? It's raining and it's horrible, windy, so it's not very good time to show you around.
It's okay. So my next question is, do you think slum tourism or tourists visiting favelas represents the favelas in a bad way, kind of like a zoo or some kind of profit off of poverty? Like,
well, there was a lot of in the beginning of that process I mentioned. There was a lot of that. I wouldn't say there was so much of the bad stuff, but there was definitely a lot of talk of the bad stuff, like some foreign people who would come in and like do these sort of favela tours, which is sort of like in a jeep, as like a safari, and that was insulting in many ways. And well, depending on that could be very insulting for a lot of people, especially if they had nothing to gain from it.
mm-hmm.
Yeah. So the people who had nothing to gain from the foreign people coming kept criticizing, which still happens today.
Yeah.
But obviously, the tourists are an opportunity for everybody to set up some sort of business. 'Cause it's very flexible to do informal business here. You can just go out and sell beer anytime you want, on the street. So, or whatever, I'm saying drinks or whatever. But yeah, so it was a big question. They called it this gentrification process, and there's lots and lots of people writing about that, and that period there coming up to the still now, but especially that period where all the foreigners getting hostels and started using Airbnb and all of this new tourism phenomenon, which was completely, new life to the favelas, and most Brazilian society was really outside of it. The Brazilian middle class or high society, sort of, the rich kids might go to Vidigal, to this more fancy place sometime, but that's it. They are still afraid of going up the favelas, and there's a lot of class division still in the city. But for foreigners, no. Foreigners accept, they don't have this prejudice. Also because they didn't have the experience of it being really seriously dangerous with drug cartels, carrying weapons and doing whatever they wanted from people.
Mm-hmm.
It's making the rules. Mm-hmm. So that's with the pacification. The main thing I didn't say before, but the main thing about the pacification was that the guns were taken out of the hands of the drugs are still there. There's the same people roughly. Well, some get arrested, etc. But most importantly, they stopped carrying guns. Only police carries guns. But now the process is going backwards a little bit this last few months. Let's see what happens. Also, like for me at least, business is very low now. Like nobody really knows what's going to happen after the army leaves the city, which they're still around. They came for the Olympics. They're still around until municipal election, which is in November,
Mm-hmm.
And then probably keep staying around with this government and become like a militarized state like Turkey or something.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
But well, there's lots of military on the streets still now. So, yeah. So people like myself will be reconsidering and looking at our options. Definitely me, because my contract runs out at the end of the year, so I need to make that decision. My lease, I mean.
Mm-hmm.
Which is irrelevant to your studies. Sorry.
No, I still want to hear about it. Absolutely, it makes me want to come visit too.
Yeah, it's pretty great here. I mean, everybody falls in love with this place. Mm-hmm. Like David, like so many other people. In these 3.5 years I've been here, I've hosted hundreds of people, and most people, they just they realize how special it is. It's a bit different from those bigger favelas like Vidigal and stuff.
Yeah.
Here it's really quiet. There's no cars. You don't even hear cars at night or anything. Mm-hmm. We're right above the beach. I'll try to show you here. You've seen the pictures, no?
I saw them from your Facebook photos.
The beach is right there, you see?
Mm-hmm. Oh, it's beautiful. Oh, no.
Oh, the weather's like... Lots of time. It's winter here, yeah? Mind you.
Okay, so I have 3 more questions. One of them is, what do the residents of think of you opening a hostel in like their neighborhood? What are their feelings about there being a hostel in their favela? Or do you know?
Yeah. It's a bit what I described before. There's a mixed reaction from people who have to gain from it or who manage to gain from it. They have a more positive attitude. They embrace it. And people who are a bit more negative, they criticize, or if they have nothing to make with it, Mm-hmm. But generally here, to me specifically, I'm from Portugal, so I speak Portuguese pretty well, and I can understand them thoroughly. So I think it's different from some English-speaking person or something. Because it just is. It's all the slang and everything. I just get everything. So it's been, I guess, much easier for me. I've created a really good rapport with the community. It's a small community. Everybody knows each other. And so, yeah, I've made a point of just hiring local people. I help a lot of people out when I can. Little things, but so yeah. But generally, even for foreign people, I know a lot of people who've been pretty well received. But generally, especially in the beginning, when people don't know each other, the culture will be divided, I guess, in terms of accepting. Has a lot to do with how long you stay, how you treat people, get known. Once you're known by a handful, once you gain some credibility with some people, the others will get it secondhand or something.
Yeah. That was the same with I was an exchange student in Denmark this past year, and we had 43 students in my program, and of the 43 we had 24 of them from Brazil. And it was kind of the same thing with they sort of stuck to their own community, but once like you were friends with a few of them, it went quickly and you were friends with everybody. So that kind of, it sounds like it works the same. Maybe it's just a cultural thing.
Yeah. Where there is, also there's been a lot of cases of foreign people coming to actually treat people badly, and especially like abuse drugs and women and things like this. So, I guess in the end, it's all depends on what individuals we're talking about. But generally, definitely, that's the first reaction is of sort of keeping distances and some resistance, and then progressively the community kind of acts on it as a whole. Yeah, I guess that makes sense.
Yeah.
Because that's how things work here in society quite a bit.
Okay, so you've answered most of my questions. It's been so great. My last one is, what is the best and worst part about owning a hostel in such like a popular and culturally massive like destination? What's the best and the worst?
Yeah. Well, the best. I always look at it two different directions. Like the clients, like these hundreds of people I've met here. Some of them were really nice. I've made a lot of friends and people literally from all over the world, and who were always in a good vibe here. Coming to Rio finally after expectation, and for the World Cup with the national team. So so that's always been a really good vibe to the people who came here. Lots of people got done together to travel somewhere, etc. So that's been great. And then all the signs for me personally, the gratitude I have to the locals who helped me in the beginning. I was for me it was an adventure like that happened out of the blue, and I was pretty scared in the beginning, etc. But I was so well treated by everybody here, even the ones like I feared the most for the beginning, or being respected by all. So that's been really gratifying to be able to get into their intimacy a little bit, understand how community like this works.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was a long answer. I'm sorry.
No, it was beautiful.
And then the worst things. The worst thing. just the the, the dirtiness, the lack of civility that a lot of the people have. Uh, uh, in the community, people are dirty, something like this, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But you can do what you can subtly. It's very, you know, people don't care if they, not people, some people don't care if they just put the garbage anywhere in the middle of the street, or you know, loud music or whatever, you know. They don't care. It's which is cultural, but it's just a cultural shock for me. That's all. It's my bad. Really. Not really.
Oh my gosh. Okay, well, thank you so much. This has been super helpful, and it was fantastic to talk to you, and so nice of you to do this.
No, you're welcome. I'm used to talking about this. It's, you know, people are curious how I ended up here, etc.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, yeah, let me know when you come to Rio.
I will. I definitely will.
Oh,
All right, have a fantastic rest of your day.
you know where to stay.
Of course I do. Perfect.
Hello. Sorry that you were frozen there for a few seconds.
Oh, it's okay. I said I will see you when I come to Rio.
Okay.
Okay.
Perfect. All right. Let me know if you need anything else.
I will.
Good luck with your work.
Thank you. Bye.